regular session of the Senate in the 19th Congress of the Philippines. It is hereby called to order.
The Senate of the Philippines doubled down on its efforts to improve the lives of Filipinos as it entered the final stretch of the year. Senate President Francis G. Escudero and members of the upper chamber witnessed the signing of the Ligtas Pinoy Centers Act and the Student Loan Payment Moratorium during Disasters and Emergencies Act in Malacañang, Manila. Republic Act No. 12076 mandates the establishment of evacuation centers in every city and municipality of the country, while Republic Act No. 12077 provides for a moratorium on student loan collections during disasters and emergencies. In promoting and preserving the Philippines' cultural heritage, the upper chamber approved this week the proposed establishment of the Aklan Piña Museum and Cultural Center on third and final reading. Senators also gave their final nod to the naturalization of Alexander Sergeyevich Korovin as they secured the Russian figure skater's commitment to nurture young Filipino athletes during his retirement in the country. Senate President Francis G. Escudero led the upper chamber in honoring former Senator Santa Nina Tila Rasul, who passed away late November. Sponsoring Resolution No. 226, Escudero cited Rasul's legacy as the country's first Filipina Muslim senator and her advocacy for literacy, inclusivity, and peace.
To Senator Rasul and her beloved family, and to all those whose causes were once her concern, we pledge to continue her legacy. Thank you, Senator Nina Rasul, for your service. We appreciate everything you have done for the Senate and for our country.
Meanwhile, the Senate adopted a resolution commending athletes from the Jiu-Jitsu Federation of the Philippines for their medal haul at the 2024 Jiu-Jitsu International Federation World Championship. In separate resolutions, the chamber also hailed Olympian skateboarder Marjeline Vidal for her victory at the Red Bull Buenos Aires Women's Division Championship and other outstanding Filipino athletes and students. The proposed law prohibiting the development, production, stockpiling, and use of chemical weapons in the Philippines is expected to hurdle the Senate following its second reading approval last week. Committee on Foreign Relations Chairperson Senator Amy Marcos sponsored the resolution for the Senate's concurrence to the Reciprocal Access Agreement or RAA between the Armed Forces of the Philippines and Self-Defense Forces of Japan. Senators also backed the passage of the bill strengthening the current Magna Carta for persons with disabilities, also sponsored by Senator Marcos. Senate Majority Leader Francis Tolentino took to the plenary hall to call on the Land Transportation Office to defer its January 1, 2025 deadline for the use of temporary license plates. In a privileged speech, Tolentino hit the LTO for its failure to deliver license plates on time, with backlogs reaching 12.5 million.
The inability to resolve this backlog undermines public trust and confidence in our government agencies. The promise of timely delivery of license plates is not just an administrative issue. It is about restoring trust in our transportation system and ensuring that every vehicle owner can operate with peace of mind.
Meanwhile, the Commission on Appointments approved the promotion of 15 generals and flag officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Back at the Senate, Senator Win Gatchalian led an inquiry into the implementation of the Inclusive Education Act and the efforts of concerned government agencies in ensuring supports for learners with disability. The Committee on Agriculture, Food and Agrarian Reform also tackled bills calling for a national policy for the development of the Buringa or Malunggay industry. Senators deliberated on the proposed establishment of the Cotabato Province in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao during the hearing of the Committee on Local Government. Senator Gatchalian called for measures against the proliferation of fake person with disability IDs during the inquiry of the Committee on Ways and Means. Senate President Francis G. Escudero and the Senate Employees Union Senado signed the 2024 Collective Negotiation Agreement, a symbolic first in the upper chamber's history.
Binili ko na dito tayo sa session hall talaga magkaroon ng ganitong uri ng seremonya upang bigyan kayo ng pagpapahalaga. Dahil dito namin ginagampanan ng aming tungkulin. Nasa likod man kayo ng mga ilaw, nasa likod man kayo ng mga kamera. Bahagi kayo ng mahalagang trabahong ginagampanan ng Senado sa pagpalangkas ng mga batas na makabuluhan. Para sa akin, ang tunay na sugatan ng isang matagumpay na CNA ay kung magiging daan ito para mas maging maganda at maayos ang relasyon, samahan, trabaho at serbisyo nating ibibigay sa tao. Yung mga dagdag benepisyo, magagandang probisyon na pwedeng mangalaga sa karapatan ninyo, yon ay mga pamamaraan lamang para makamit natin yung ating mitin at layunin na makapagbigay ng magandang serbisyo sa ating mga kababayan sa ngalan ng institusyon ng Senado.
Capping off the week, the Senate of the Philippines building glowed orange on Thursday in observance of the 16-day Orange the World campaign against gender-based violence. The Orange the World campaign, launched by the United Nations in 2008, calls for increased awareness and an end to all forms of violence against women and girls across the globe.